Hey guys, it's Dave, aka Finance Guy, and I am bringing you yet another 54 bucks EverQuest raid on EQ Emulator. Local install on my computer. We are continuing through Vex Thal. It's been about a week or two since I think I recorded my last bunch of Vex Thal videos. Just been busy, but here is my raid team. If you haven't been following along, 54 characters, all level 60, approximately 200 AAs per character. And we are just going to hop right into this. Everyone's buffed up. And here, the mob we're going to fight is Fake Aten, Vashi Atenhara. So Fake Aten, it's not the real one. The real one's later in the dungeon. And real quick, her stats. We got here on MQEmulator.net. She's got 1.6 million hit points. Hits pretty hard, up to 1254. Fast as well. Attack delay 8 is pretty quick. Quads. Doesn't rampage, so we can charge right in. Doesn't flurry, that's good. She is slowable, which is great, make it a lot easier. And nothing else too special. She does cast 2 spells. One being Black Winds, which hits the tank for 1,000 damage. It's something you gotta deal with. Actually, this is targeted AE? Oh, it might actually be an AoE, so it might actually hit a few guys. And then Fling, so she's gonna throw people around. So understanding that she's going to throw people around tells me we need to put the clerics somewhere safe. Because if the clerics get thrown around, then Dave's not going to get healed. So I'm actually going to keep the clerics in this small room. And this is the room you teleport up in when you first get to the 3rd floor of Vex Thal. So I'm going to leave the clerics here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep their complete heal rotations. And we're going to set the timing to 5 seconds. And then now the clerics aren't doing anything. I'm going to say / follow me / only pipe character. Oh, sorry. / not pipe character clerics. I want all the clerics to stay here. I have 9 clerics, but only 6 of them are in the complete heal rotation. I want the other 3 clerics to stay in this room because healing goes through walls. And I believe every single heal in the game goes through walls. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure they do. So we're gonna bring everyone through this door. Her aggro radius is pretty small, so I can actually sneak everyone in here. I'm going to just hit the map and make sure everyone is in here. Looks like Kristen didn't make it, so I'll just, real quick, just summon her. Boom. And everyone else. Oh, where's Kristen going? Where? Well, hold on a second. She's running off. Kristen is running off wildly. Okay. Oh, she aggroed it. She aggroed her. Okay. So just hop on Furious. So that's what happens when a character runs off. Starts with a heal chain. Oh, Kristen's dead. Alright, so Kristen will not be in this fight. Oh well. Sorry, Kristen. I don't know why she ran off like that. She was probably on auto run. Alright, so we get the debuffs on Fake Added. And complete heal chain is running. Whoa, you see that? Knocked Dave right down to kaput, but now she's slowed, so this should be much easier now. We're gonna get the dots on now. She's weakened, she's crippled. Melee Tash, tons of dots coming in now. Oh, you know what happened? I didn't put on defensive, that's why she murdered Dave when she was unslowed. And we're just gonna engage. Now she does have a lot of hit points, so the fight's gonna take a while. You can kind of see over, kind of the left of her in the back, there's that orb that's kind of sticking out. And maybe back in the day when Luclin was new, there was no maps. Like, you couldn't just bring up a map back then. That looks like the end of the zone. It looks like the end of, you beat with Vex Thal, right? You come up to this last floor, there's Vashi Atenhara all by herself in a room, and boom, you win the game. But actually, there's a secret wall right behind that orb that goes to a hallway where you fight Blob 2 North and Blob 2 South. And beyond those guys is where Portup is, the actual boss of the zone, Atenhara AHR, who is basically this exact fight, but I believe she hits a little harder, and she also has silence, which is trivial, honestly, because you can hide the clerics in a separate room, just like I'm doing now, and the casters you can just put on the opposite wall. And so when I used to do AHR, and I'll talk about this when we get to her in a couple of videos from now, when I was in a raiding guild with her, we actually put everyone in the room with her. We didn't hide the clerics in the opposite room. And I don't know why we didn't do that, because I feel like you put the clerics in the other room, there's no chance the cleric is going to get silenced. If you get silenced, it's just like, it's bad. So this fight is pretty straightforward. I mean, she is chucking me up periodically. Up chuck, puke, I don't know. Chucking me up. Oh, I guess she chucks everyone. Yeah, some mobs have the single target fling. Some mobs have the AoE fling. In her case, AoE. It doesn't do any damage to it, just 1 point of damage. And I'm not really seeing her do that 1,000 point nuke on more than one person. I'm guessing it is single target, or she's not doing it, or I'm resisting it, and not complaining one way or the other. Just gonna kind of keep beating her up. Looks like Maximus is playing Green Hell in the lower right-hand corner. No idea what game that is, and I thought I closed Steam when I started recording this video, but that's cool. We can immortalize him. Max is actually my monk. I have a monk named Max, and it's an online friend of mine. I'm going to use / quick burns to have my melee guys use their offensive disciplines and try to kill her a little quicker, but I mean, quite frankly, she just has a butt ton of hit points. And I have noticed over the past couple weeks of doing Vex Thal that the fights are getting slightly faster because I have been gearing up. When I first started recording videos for YouTube, my guys were just starting to break into North Temple of Ishan, so their gear was terrible, and they had a lot of halls of testing quest armor for Skyshrine and some Kael armor too. But now most of my guys are at least got a few pieces of Vex Thal gear. Dave's got a ton. They've got some like Avatar War gear and North Temple of Ishan gear, Vulak gear. Even in late stage Luclin, like Ssra's a temple. So like my guys are getting a lot better. It would be nice if they could continue to get better, but honestly I'm tired of doing this zone because it does take a long time to get through it with how many hit points the bosses have. It takes about 3 hours to get through this zone, I think. Which I honestly don't have a terrible amount of time for. What I have been doing is killing some of the I'll do half the zone, come back in a day or two, and if anything respawns, I'll just like GM kill it and then continue where I left off. Because when you run your own server, you can totally do that. You don't have to do everything at once. You can just, if bosses respawn, you don't want to redo them, just GM kill them and again summon your raid where you left off. I've had some questions on the channel about how to do certain things, so I'm planning on recording a video probably after I kill AHR. So whether I do it today or another day, I'm just kind of talking about setting up a 54-man team, why I have the certain class structure that I do, why I have the certain group structure that I do, how to very efficiently buy spells for everyone or give them spells, how to efficiently level up if leveling is not really your thing and you mostly just want to raid. I think there's actually GM commands to make you level up, but if you actually want to level up 54 characters, you can make the experience really fast or make it so there's no penalty for being in a raid, which is what my server set up. There's no penalty for being in a raid, so all 54 characters are getting full experience. I think I have triple experience turned on too. And then I also have no res effects, and I also have no res loss. You don't lose experience when you die, because all these things aren't really conducive of raiding full time. It's more annoying than anything else. So I will at some point do a video about that, and also at some point when I finish recording AHR, I'll see if there's anyone else left to record, and move on to Planes of Power. And we'll do a leveling video. We'll do leveling from 60 to 65 with a team of 54. I haven't decided where I'm going to do the leveling, but I'm thinking of doing it in Plane of Fire. Technically, that zone would be locked behind flags, but because I'm a GM, I can just zone my team there. That might be a good place to do it. Probably, Courtyard 2 and Tables, or Castle 2, Tables, Courtyard, that whole area would probably be the best place to level 54 characters because those mobs are level 67. And I could probably go from level 60 to 65 relatively quickly. So Fake Atten is still going down. Like I said, long fight, but not hard. Even when I first started fighting in Vex Thal, the fights weren't terribly difficult. Some of them were. It's just mostly just grinding out the hit points. So my defensive is down, so she's starting to get a little tougher. So I'm actually going to set the complete heal rotation of 4 seconds instead of 5 seconds. I do set timing 4. Somebody did ask me for my complete heal chain macro because this is not the standard from Project EverQuest, which is where I got all this other stuff from. So at some point I'm going to have to share this macro. I need somewhere to host it. I don't have a friendly put close to. Maybe do like a code bin website or something. It's a very simple macro, but you know, I want you guys to have it so that you can do this stuff and have a good complete heal chain, because the complete heal chain that comes with Project EverQuest macro set, the MacroQuest that I'm using, has some glitches in it. It doesn't always work. I've had many problems with it. They might have fixed it since then. I'm not sure. I think the original person who wrote it doesn't work on the EverQuest stuff anymore. But this macro works just fine, as you've seen over the many videos that I've been using it. And I definitely recommend using complete heal rotations. Burst healing doesn't work so well when you're macroing and boxing, because your guys will just run themselves out of mana fast. I've tried it, so I mean, if you thought of a way to do it, I'd love to hear. So Fake Atten should be enraging shortly. Probably, I think at 9%. So we'll see what happens. Turn off auto attack. I believe your characters will turn off auto attack if they're automated, kind of how my characters are. If she turns and they're facing her front and she's enraged, they'll automatically stop fighting, so they don't kill themselves from her post. I have noticed that. I don't know if the character you're controlling will do that. I feel like the character I'm controlling never seems to do that, and I don't know if it's because MacroQuest E3 knows that I'm controlling him, or there's something wrong with how I set Dave up. It doesn't really matter, honestly. I turn off auto attack. So, Big Atten still dying. Did we lose anyone? Oh yeah, we lost Kristen at the beginning. That's right. So I'm gonna summon her back as soon as Big Atten is dead. Get her back up and running and see what the loot is. So every mob in Vex Thal drops really good loot. The loot in this zone is phenomenal. I just wish it didn't take so long to kill everything. But when I'm gonna come back here at level 65 and do this zone, it would be a lot easier because I'll be higher level with more DPS and more higher damaging spells, and I can still get the loot while working on my way to Plane of Time. So summoning Kristen, and then I'm gonna start everyone's macro over. You'll probably hear a beep because I still haven't changed Dennis's macro so that he hit the rope of icicles. Get everyone off the corpse. Go over here, and then what she had? Oh, let's see what we got here. Oh, the Singling robe and some arms. Oh, that's hit point regeneration, not mana regeneration. That's interesting. You'd think a caster robe would have mana regen, but I guess a necro could use the hit point regen. Reduces the mana cost of self-only long-term beneficial spells by up to 40%. I don't really know who has self-only spells that cost a lot of mana, but I will say a necro would probably best use this robe, and I think I saw 2 of them. So I have 2 necros. So let me see what my 2 necros are using. So we do / find slot chest only neck, and what do we got here? So that's not as good, and that's not as good. So I'm gonna give it to the 2 necros by default just because of the hit point regen. So as I do loot, I just want to say, if you've been liking what you've been seeing, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Spread the love, which show more and more people a really fun way of playing EverQuest. This game, I hope, will never die. And now that I have the game on my computer, even if the live servers ever went down, sunsetted, or say the people who make EQ Emulator ever stopped, I would have my own version of EverQuest. And that would make me very happy, because I've been playing this game on and off since 1999. I will admit it swallowed away part of my life at different stages of playing, and probably hasn't been the most healthiest hobby I have in my life. But yeah, I play by myself now, and it's not so toxic anymore. It was definitely very toxic when I played with other people. I did think I played to an extent that I'm not proud of. I'll just put it that way. So that's it. That's the video. We're going to move on to Blob 2 in the next video. And then I'll do both Blob 2s, but I'll just record one. And then we'll move to AHR. I'll see you guys soon.